even the best laid plans sometimes go awry. And, we spend a lot of time on course design and development. We try and anticipate everything that you might experience or everything that could potentially go wrong. We try to structure the course so that it unfolds, there's a strong narrative, the students understand what's expected of them. We try to embed different things to make sure that the class time moves smoothly, that you have multiple opportunities to engage and excite the students. But we all do that prior to the start of the first class. And sometimes it doesn't matter how well we design things, things just don't seem to be working. And sometimes it may be inexperience, sometimes it's some of the judgments that we made before the semester started. Sometimes it's the composition of students in the class, or sometimes it's whatever's going on out there. For example, the previous year, everybody's sort of been burned out on COVID, and that's affected whether people come to class and how they respond in the classroom and so on and so forth. Sometimes it's things totally out of your control, but sometimes there are things that you can control. And that's why we want to talk about a continuous improvement strategy. So the syllabus is a contract with your students. It lays out what you're going to do, but really it's a contract that governs expectations, course requirements, and how a student is going to get credit at the end of the semester. Once you've committed to those things, it's very difficult to change them. But what you can change are the examples that you use, how you structure class time, how much time you spend on a certain topic, the companies that you may be talking about, the guest speakers that you're utilizing, or what you're going to have the guest speakers do, how you're going to engage with your students, and how are you going to get your students to engage with each other. All of that can be changed, and all of that should be changed if things aren't working well. So maybe you pick some examples or some topics that you thought everybody could relate to, but as you know, I'm an old guy, and it's a long time since I was 20 years old. I'm sure it hasn't been as long for you, but sometimes we think that things would resonate or make sense to them, and we discover that that's not the case at all. Talk to your students, communicate with your students, ask them, hey, how are things going? Hey, do you like these examples? Gauge how excited or interested they are. How much time are they spending on their phones? Well, we don't want them to spend any time on their phones, actually. And if they are spending time on their phones, then is it that the material isn't resonating with them? Is it that the examples aren't meaningful? Or is it that we haven't created enough opportunities in the classroom for them to engage with each other or a guest speaker or the instructor? And we need to rethink things. Are there not enough breaks? Are there too many breaks? Are the breaks too long? Are students looking at their watches or on their phone, with an hour left going, oh, when can I get out of here? Well, can we restructure the class so there's some meaningful activities at the end so they have something to look forward to, or certainly a reason to hang around? It's really important to sort of constantly gauge the temperature of the room and make adjustments as you go along. Now, for those remote instructors or those instructors who are new to the program, you'll have your guide, and we certainly encourage you to talk to your guide. But you can talk to your students as well. So something that has been really effective is the third class, take some time and say, how are things going? Or give them a brief survey and ask them some questions. Do you like the content? Do you like the structure of the class? Do you like, this kind of activity? Are we doing this? Let them fill out the survey, and you can certainly do that through Canvas. And then think about what they're telling you and take it to heart. It's easy as an instructor to go, hey, I'm putting myself out there and they're not responding to me, or I don't want to hear criticism. But they're not being critical. they're trying to be helpful and provide you with some guidance or some insight in terms of how you can make the adjustments that would create a better experience for everyone. And always, don't forget, you can come see me, you can talk to Jennifer. We're always here to help you. If things aren't going well, let's make some adjustments, let's make some changes early on. And hey, by the way, if things are going really well, we like to hear about that too. So just remember, nothing's cast in stone. We created a design that we thought would work, but there's always opportunities to make it better or to make some minor adjustments that can make a big difference. It's only going to happen if you communicate with your students, if you work with your guide, and then you let us know so that we can be of assistance. But change is a good thing. Change is something that should be embraced. And as I said, aside from the basic structure of assignments and how students are going to get credit for the course, there's a lot of freedom and flexibility as the course unfolds.